for you. And to those who don't accept it at all, as we've seen another faction made up of the former excos of the now dissolved cabinet saying that they're going to continue with their duties regardless of the new exco. What do you have to say to those two concerns?
And, you know, that's the beauty of democracy, that there is that freedom of association. Again, I have said that this was never an easy decision, and it is, you know, the fact that the state has carried the banner of PDP over the last 27 years with so much pride. It would never be an easy, so nobody should pretend about it. But I think sometimes we have to defer to a higher principles and higher call. And that's essentially what we're doing here. It's almost like, no, my background is business, so I'm almost going to use business cases to illustrate. So it's almost like when you talk about the X curve of innovation, and then you notice you start from the era of ferment at the bottom of the X curve, and you get to a dominant design stage, and you get to a point where it gets to the physical discontinuity, just getting at the peak of. So you've got to a dominant stage. You now only have marginal improvements. So you're no longer able to do, you know, for example, what we committed to quantum launching, growing economy exponentially. You're getting to a point where you need to, you know, now create another X curve of innovation where you need to think outside the box, you know, knowing that even though the old system may have served us, it served us to get us to where we are today. In order for us to get to our destination, we need to be able to identify that new system that is able to serve us optimally, to lead us to that destination we want.
Would you let this new faction operate with your own leadership? Would you let the former faction, the now dissolved cabinet, operate with that led by the caretaker committee chair, Dr. Nwoi? Would you let them operate hand in hand? Would they both exist?
Oh, you know, party politics is about bringing in people, right? And I think that the key thing is for us to understand that we have to consolidate whichever party we are in, consolidate our support base. So the ultimate goal would be to reconcile the parties and make sure that we all work together for one, you know, common objectives.
All right, one more question. At what point exactly in all of this did you decide to defect to APC? What was that moment that you said, I'm not going to deal with PDP anymore, I need to move? What was that moment?
So a weighty decision like this would require deep reflection, introspection. It's not something you wake up overnight, you know, to. You would have to always do your analysis around what is in the best interest of your people. And something I have found out about the president is that he's deeply committed to what is in the interest of not just Enugu. There are a couple of things that we've been able to assess as a state, again, thanks to his liberal nature and his interest in our state. So for me, it's always going to be about what serves the best interest of the people. And again, as I said, by extension, the zone, the Southeast region.
Since the Excellency's question is coming for the second time, that what was the event that was it the Ude Okoye event that made you feel that I've had enough, I've had it up to here? At what point did you decide that I'm done with the PDP? Or you just took the ticket and you knew from the beginning that you were going to leave?
No, so it's not about any one particular act. And again, as I keep saying, it was also not going, that decision would not have been made exclusively by any act that I believe would not be in the interest of the people. So it would always going to be, and because this also requires movement by an entire political family, it would require, of course, making sure that you understand, you feel the pulse of your people, and you get genuine feedback from them of what they also believe is in their best interest. So it's not just you thinking you're a leader, forcing your position on them, but listening to them, getting feedback from them, understanding how they feel about the whole thing. So this is a collective decision.
So it wasn't at any without me trying to reinforce my colleague's question.
Yeah.
It wasn't a particular event.
No.
Was it the president who convinced you?
Again,
you had a meeting with the president, a private meeting in the villa with the president. What did he tell you?
So as a governor, I would always have access to the president, and I would always have to discuss issues that affect the interest of the state with the president. And so I've not just had a one-off private meeting with...
Earlier in the year, he called you his friend and that you were doing very well. Some have thought that perhaps the friendship is the foundation upon which this new relationship has been built.
No, I think that I enjoy a very good relationship with the president. No doubt about that. And for me, I think, if anything, that is also the, if you look at when I said this is beyond party politics. It's also about leadership. It's about who you find in a leadership position of a particular party and how comfortable you feel about that leadership. And the fact that you're looking at a leader who, for example, is interested in devolution of power, interested in decentralizing development, who believes that if we're going to achieve a $1 trillion economy in 5 years, by 2030, then the states, the peripherals, the subnationals must be empowered, who sees that vision that the growth we're talking about here won't be top-down, it would rather be bottom-up, who believes in strengthening the capacity of the local government and even strengthening the institutions at the local level, talking about the traditional institution. I'm sure you know that the president is championing
this move is much about personal chemistry as much as political realignment.
No. So if you think about it, look at the policies of this government and look at what they are designed to do in terms of development. For example, if you look at the removal of subsidies and the unification of the foreign exchange markets, and of course dealing with certain other inefficiencies, they are again designed to free up resources that would be invested in the people. For example, I fell in love with this president from the day he made the announcement to remove the fuel subsidy and, unify the foreign exchange market. Essentially because, given my background as also somebody who played in that sector, the oil and gas sector, I had also written a lot in the past, done features on why it had become necessary for the subsidy to go.